Any thoughts on that?
An actress with a lot of talent, and I feel like she's just barely getting started with her career, considering her age. And I would like to see her in an X-Men film. I mean, I think she would do good for something like Jean Grey, because I'm wondering, did you ever saw the remake to Carrie, MJ?
In answer to your question earlier, no, I have not seen the remake, although a lot of people have said to me, no, dude, you have to see this movie. And I'm like, it's like, another remake, and it's like, and they just said two things. Okay, one, decent writing, and two, Chloe Moretz is the role. Say what?
Oh, you didn't see the trailers beforehand?
I may have seen bits.
Well, I guess the trailer really spoils everything. It just like a clip show the whole entire movie as a whole. So I guess if you don't want to see the movie, you can just watch the trailer and just have an abridged, which is like an abridged version of it.
At the time in 2013, I was kind of dealing with a lot of other stuff, movie review wise, and at the time I was doing Raw Down Rebound every week, which took up a lot of my time editing wise. But 2013, I didn't really see as many movies as I would like. I mean, Iron Man 3, which I was a bit mixed on. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., priceless as it. The movie's writing, but then Man of Steel ended up, how to say this, kind of restoring the balance, because I thought it was the first decent Superman movie since Superman 2, my opinion. But when it came around to stuff like Carrie, at the time I wasn't really into the whole horror supernatural kind of shtick.
It seems to me like, I guess you were trying to focus more on like the stuff that more appealed to your taste in films.
Yeah, it was only when I finally got round to watching the movie Let Me In. Now, I knew of that flick back in 2010. I'd seen trailers for it. Didn't really. I didn't look too much into it. Just thought, okay. Because at the time I was a different reviewer, different entertainer.
I was not the man I was back then.
No, I was merely a shell of my former self. Blah blah blah, all that jazz. But no, saw a couple of clips for the movie, and I thought, well, hang on, this doesn't actually look that bad. In a minute, dude. And I took a look, and I took one showing of that movie, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go over to play.com real quick. Oh, there it is for a couple of bucks. Oh, I'm going to buy that now. Yes. And it just opened my eyes up to two things. One, how a vampire movie should be done, not like how Twilight's been done. I'm not even going to get into that because I was just going to get Phoenix to be like, ugh, not Twilight, bleh, all that jazz.
Please don't.
No, and and at that time I already knew, of Chloe's acting capabilities, but her role as Abby in the movie is just like, whoa. At the time when she did that, because she was still, taking everything in from her breakout role as Hit Girl, but at 12 years old, she was able to make me feel sympathy for a vampire. Not in the sense of, this is a character who had been turned against her will, and she doesn't do this for sport nor pleasure, she just does it out of necessity, just to survive, and just saw the way, that there's guilt, remorse, yet at the same time she doesn't want to leave the world. It's just like, oh God, it's like, I actually want to just, pet her on the shoulder and say, don't worry about it, everything's going to be alright. And that takes superb acting talent just to be able to do that. And then, what do? I then start finding out what other movies she's done. It's like, oh yeah, she knocked it out of the park. Yep, she's done that again. Wait, you're going to be a possible X-Men? Nice.
Yeah.
But she is just that good.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I know, like, recently you've done 2 videos where you compared one version of a film to another, like with Hulk and Thunderbirds. Ever thought about comparing Let Me In to the original Swedish version, Let the Right One In?
I may just get round to doing that. Now, I have not seen the original Swedish version, not through a lack of interest nor, being put off it. I just haven't had the time to get round to it. And like I say, I only saw Let Me In because it was just happened to be available to me. And I've come to find with Matt Reeves directing, he really draws you into the movie. And it's the same thing with Dawn of Planet of the Apes, because you get the sense that there's still a lot of humanity within the characters that are doing the motion capture acting with the likes of Caesar and Morris. You can still, there's some hope for them for humanity, whereas Cobra's like, you assholes were mean to me, I want you dead.
Matt Reeves, he also did Cloverfield, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah, nice. And
he was also...
I mean, he did... Yeah. I have to say, I think Matt Reeves has certainly improved since Cloverfield. Because I think, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, in terms of, characters and directing, is, miles above Cloverfield.
Oh, yeah. Plus, he was also one of the producers on Felicity, which I think was, late 90s, early noughties, which also had Amy Jo Johnson as a recurring role.
Oh, interesting. I think that was also a J.J. Abrams project. Who
I think it was as well.
Also a producer with Cloverfield. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, right. So. Let's let Phoenix get his 2 cents about Cap2. Sorry, dude, got caught up on a tangent there.
No biggie, we all do that sometime.
Tell me about it.
That means we're all human. We all make mistakes. But anyway, Captain America 2. I actually like this one. It started out as normal after the events of Captain America 1, after Steve Rogers wakes up in the 21st century, and after the events of the Avengers, when he's just starting to fit into the role of the modern world. And now the alien invasion has come and gone. Now he has to fit into the role of the 21st century. By the way, I want to comment on the Falcon. He should get his own movie. He was that awesome in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I don't care. He needs to have his own movie. Period. But anyway, back to Captain America 2. Like I said, it starts out normal, and it's just like S.H.I.E.L.D. making these new helicarriers because of that one big weakness that they had in the Avengers, which was easy to be damaged or malfunction in the Avengers thanks to a Loki-controlled Hawkeye. Little did S.H.I.E.L.D. know is that they were full of Hydra infiltrators who were so desperate to make sure they conquer the world no matter what. And they're not going to wait 71 years. They're going to wait. It's now. They don't want another year. Now. Yes, I know, emphasis, but I'm just trying to improve my point. Mm-hmm. They really, really, really want their goal to be fulfilled no matter what. And towards the end, you feel like they are really going to accomplish their goal, annihilating pretty much everyone on the planet that they deem as a threat. And as Cajun Noir said, they did have a reference to Dr. Hugo Strange, which, speaking of which, I saw on Facebook, they finally got a Doctor Strange casting role last.
I am so excited for that.
Yeah,
because of the actor.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, exactly. But I digress. The Winter Soldier himself, he was pretty badass. Someone who could stand up to Captain America, but I feel a little sorry for him. He's forced to turn against his own friend, and yet he doesn't even remember Captain America. Fortunately, in the post-credits scene, I did say there were going to be spoilers, right? Mm-hmm. He does go to the museum as himself, basically not as a Winter Soldier, but as himself, Bucky Barnes. And he starts to remember, and I remember that there were hints that Bucky Barnes, currently the Winter Soldier, could be the new Captain America. The way he holds the shield, I mean. And of course, they did hint at that even in the first Captain America, the way he held that shield. But of course, I digress. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Silly, stupid me. But anyway, I digress. Again, political thriller. You never knew who's a friend, who's an ally. And the head guy, played by Robert Redford, I believe.
Yeah.
He was the guy who was behind it the whole time, though. As for Arnim Zola, it was to be expected, because I heard if you blink and miss in Captain America 1, you saw that he was planning this for a very long time, uploading his consciousness into a machine. I mean, he had blueprints, but it's just like you blink and miss, or if you don't pause the footage and look closely, you'll miss it. But it does make sense for him to upload his conscience into a computer or machine with computers, because in the comics he does upload his intelligence into a machine so he can be immortal.
Yep.
But of course, as you said, freedom does have a cost. Even security has at the cost of freedom is not perfect.
Nope.
And at first, I thought that old counselor was doing really good martial arts for her age. It was like, she's how old and she's doing really good, and then I was like, oh, it's Black Widow in disguise. But since S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra are exposed, they now pretty much are out of a job, at least until Avengers 2 coming out in 4, 5, 6 months, give or take.
Yeah, be May, so yeah, about 5 to 6 months.
And also, if you look at their targets, you'll see, if you blank and miss, you'll see who they're targeting. You see Iron Man, aka Tony Stark. You see the Avengers Tower. You see references to maybe... Actually, I think this was in Iron Man 2. I think they had an Easter egg for Black Panther, which was confirmed to be going on the big screen in a few years.
Yeah.
But anyway, there are a lot of references to other comic books, and even comic book heroes, and even comic book villains, and even their origins. I think one was Crossbones. I was pissed off when I saw that he was still like, he's still alive? Yeah, he was a big... we'll pretty much see him in the future. But, of course, at least... what was Robert Redford's character's name again? I keep forgetting.
Oh, I don't know.
Moving on. But at least Hydra finally gets... At least their goal has been denied. Because I don't like tyrants. I don't like dictators. I don't like those who think that the world should belong to them and they have to follow some very, very strict and tyrannical ideal. I'm just that kind of guy. I think the people should decide, not power-hungry psychos. But back to the movie, I give it 2 thumbs up. And yes, I enjoyed Iron Man 3 for what it is. I enjoyed Thor 2 for what it is. I'm
right there with you, man.
I can understand your feelings with Iron Man 3, but at least it was entertaining. As for Thor 2, yes, it is pretty funny, but... Excuse me. A movie can't be serious all the time. It does need to have humor. Even Thor 1 had humor, and I actually loved that movie.
This drink, I like it. Another!
This drink, I like another!
And of course, what was it, 2 years before that, he was Kirk's father on the J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Really?
Because Abrams Star Trek was out in 2009, and Thor came out 2 years later.
Anyway, back to the movie. I'm trying to finish up as much as I can. The fight scenes were really good. Winter Soldier was a badass. And it's good that we see that Captain America, he's trying to get his friend back because he truly cares. Even if he's willing to sacrifice his life just so he can have his friend back. That's one thing I like. Yeah, it's done before, but still, no matter how many times I see it, as long as it's done right, it'll never get old. For me, at least.
No.
In short, Captain America, It's fun. It's thrilling. You always be guessing about who's friend, who's foe. It's fun from start to finish. It's worth the money. 2 thumbs up.
And there's a couple of movies I want to touch upon for next year. I mean, obviously, one of the first that got announced was when we saw the trailer for Jurassic World. I've been saying this for years in regards to the Jurassic Park movie series. I mean, whenever you do the first movie, there are no expectations. There's only, what can this movie do? Or, let's just see what this will do. And then when you come around to the sequel, you've got an idea of what works, what doesn't, and what they can build upon. And with Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 2, whatever is your preference on what to call it, not so much on plot, but the action was turned way up to a decent popcorn flick where, okay, there were some ideas copied, like bringing the T-Rex over to the mainland, which was just copying King Kong again, but there's only so many times you can come up with something new, and provided you've left it for so many years, you can use an idea again, but just do it creatively. Third one, and this is something that we said with the X-24 Rider those 3 years ago in Jurassic Park's 18th anniversary panel, Phoenix, that you were a part of. If Sam Neill had not been on Jurassic Park 3, the movie would not have been as good. He really helped carry that movie. And now, because June 12 next year, it will have been 14 years since Jurassic Park 3 had been out, and 22 years since the original movie. The question is now, what can you do with the story? Because it's essentially everything that you think that could be done has been done with the 3 movies, but now they've essentially thought, why don't we say that the park is finally open and has been open for a few years, but what else can we do to bring the audience in? And the story, it's art imitating life, because we know what Jurassic Park's dinosaurs can do through visual effects and through practical effects, because T-Rex, chopping down, chomping through the electric fence when it's not on, or the way that the Triceratops moved when it was ill, or seeing velociraptors bounce around in the first movie, or when you see them talking in the third movie, we've got an idea of what works. But to then bring in this new MacGuffin dinosaur, which is a mixture, from what I've been hearing, of T-Rex, Velociraptor, Snake, and Scuttlefish, where essentially this new super predator can camouflage and just blend into the background. And while I did kind of raise a Dwayne Johnson eyebrow at this, if you're a WWE fan, you'll get the reference. The name Diabolus Rex, which I thought, okay, Devil Rex, is a little bit generic, but then think, well, hang on. An animal that could literally cause an extinction on the island is something that is so fierce and so predatorial and intelligent, because the fact this thing could be hovering above you silently and you wouldn't know it, it could cause that much of a panic on the island. I think with the cast that they're going in with the likes of Chris Pratt, who is really, really starting to come into his own, what with doing the Lego Movie and Guardians of the Galaxy, which his 2 main acting inspirations and idols are Christopher Walken and Michael J. Fox. Because if you notice his jacket in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's very Michael J. Fox-esque from Back to the Future Part 1. And he's in outer space, so you've got... Or was it Han Solo? Yeah. Han Solo and Marty McFly were like his 2 favourite movie characters, so he's kind of got like the mixture of the 2. And you've also got Bryce Dallas Howard as a Jurassic World executive, and Yeah, in Spider-Man 3, meh, kind of role, but in Terminator Salvation, it's like, okay, girl stepped her game up, and she's really good in this. What I want to know is, what can we expect from a modern Jurassic Park setting, where we know what can happen, has happened, but what can they surprise us with? And after that long-winded statement, Kaiju Noir, your 2 cents.
Okay. Well, the original Jurassic Park from 1993 is my favorite film of all time. Jurassic Park was something I grew up with throughout my childhood, and love it to death. Even with, I still get a lot of enjoyment out of like the lesser films. But when it came to Jurassic World, I was really excited to hear that there was a new one being made. I think the thing I always loved about the original Jurassic Park was how it treated the dinosaurs like animals as opposed to generic movie monsters, where they really shines the focus on how beautiful and majestic these creatures are, along with showing just how like terrifying and how how predatorial is, I don't know if that's a word, but how dangerous they are as well. And that's the problem with the second and third movies, where they stop treating them like animals and just show them as just monsters that just go out attacking people at random. Although I do gotta admit, seeing the T-Rex attack my hometown of San Diego was perhaps the greatest thing ever. But yeah, with Jurassic World, I've always wanted to see what would happen if they actually brought the park to life and let people come in. And seeing that in the trailer, it shows a lot of creativity in there. And I loved how they even kind of had like a Jurassic Sea World with that one instance with the Mosasaurus and the Great White. I'm really excited to see what the park looks like, especially since apparently in this movie, the park has been open for like 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So we've already got a world where people are used to the existence of dinosaurs. And I am kind of disappointed that they're doing that whole doing that whole plot of let's genetically make ourselves a super mega ultrasaurus 2.0 beta. But I do like it that they're actually emphasizing the genetic aspect of the world of Jurassic Park. We kind of saw that with the Dilophosaurus, it being like a spitter, and even in the original Jurassic Park book, you've had dinosaurs that had like random capabilities. Like I think there was this one dinosaur like that had the ability to camouflage itself, which maybe that translates to the Diabolus Rex. And so, even though it's making our own, genetically creating our own super dangerous animal is something that's been done before, I'm hoping that the writing and the directing, I hope the execution will be able to make it interesting at least. I don't really, even though I love Jurassic Park and I really enjoyed the trailer, I really don't think this is good. I have a feeling in the pit of my stomach that this isn't going to be really something that's going to knock us out of the park, but really hoping for at least a very entertaining and engaging and very entertaining and engaging film with very awe-inspiring visuals. But I do have to say, seeing Star-Lord riding on his motorcycle with a pack of raptors teaming up with him was perhaps one of the awesome things I've ever seen this year in terms of movie trailers.
It's just like, lol. Just like, lol, human.
Come on, boys, let's get him. Yeah, those are my 2 cents.
Phoenix.
Okay, where do I begin on the whole Jurassic World? Because I actually liked what I saw so far. Of course, how the movie's going to fare when it comes out, there's only one way to find out. It's wait until it arrives. But what I saw, I've always wanted the series to go back to Isla Nublar, because the previous 2 movies took place on Isla Sorna. But as for the film so far, first movie, loved it, spectacular. Watched it 100 times and it'll never grow old.
Nope.
Second one, guilty pleasure, and I enjoyed it for what it is. It's not perfect, but it was still pretty fun. The third movie was pretty stupid and it had a lot of problems, but I digress. As for Jurassic World, we finally go back to Isla Nublar, and it answers the question, what would the park have been like if it was completed? or what would John Hammond's vision be like if unfortunately he lived to see it? Because if you guys remember, Richard Attenborough sadly passed away months ago.
Unfortunately.
So sad.
Yeah.
Bless his soul.
Yeah.
We miss you already, John Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is going to feel a lot different without you on 34th Street.
And it's not going to sound the same to someone go, "Welcome to Jurassic Park."
Well, the good news is I heard from a source is that there will be a statue of John Hammond.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if I heard it somewhere in one of the buildings, but I don't think I've seen it. But this is what I heard. But back to the trailer. It's good to see what would it look like if the park was completed and it was opened. And it's good to see the dinosaurs roaming around in their natural habitat as if the whole disaster from Jurassic Park 1 never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, as Kaiju Noir said, Jurassic SeaWorld. But as for that mega super villain dinosaur, I'm going to call it, well, sure, it's some. I know it's pretty obvious that humans should not try to play God.
No.
Because in Jurassic Park 1, that was the point. That was pretty much the point. If you try and play God, there's going to be disasters. Of course.
Or maybe it's more along the lines of like being responsible for your own actions. Like, you know, like if you try to go too far, if you let arrogance overcome you, you're bound to screw up eventually, and eventually you're going to have to suffer the consequences.
Yep. And as for the new dinosaur, I'm pretty sure that Ian Malcolm's character explained the theory of chaos all the way back to the first movie. Basically, he's warning John Hammond and his team who are working on the dinosaurs. By the way, isn't it ironic that the blood-sucking lawyer who threatened to shut down John Hammond ended up siding with him?
Yeah.
I made that joke 2 years ago to a friend, and it's ironic, but I digress. Back to the trailer. Ian Malcolm, in the first movie, explained that they shouldn't try to play God by creating dinosaurs and attempting control because dinosaurs are not known to be controlled. I mean, has anyone ever cloned a dinosaur and attempted to control it?
Not personally.
Well, there was that one time.
Exactly. And it's basic in short, Ian Malcolm's chaos theory states that the disaster will happen no matter what. The dinosaurs will not be controlled, and surprise, surprise, the dinosaurs could not be controlled, and they were forced to abandon the project.
Although,
at least until Jurassic World. And go ahead, NJ.
It's an interesting thing I've seen on Jurassic World's website. The render art that they've got for the T-Rex, it's kind of hinting that this is the T-Rex from the first movie because it's got the scar marks from where where the raptor was actually biting at it from the end of the first movie.
Really? I gotta see that sometime.
And didn't that website also give hints that there may be like Ice Age era animals?
Yeah, because in the story, InGen does not exist anymore, and it actually got bought out by this other major corporation, and of course the chairman of that corporation is the douchebag doctor from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, the one who played, I think it was Dr. Kafka. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this. And, you know, the one major departure that I've noticed from the setup with how they did from the original look of Jurassic Park is, notice the fences are gone. They're actually out in the field, you know, running side by side with these animals, and then this gyrosphere ride where the two kids at the start of the movie are actually in that, just going past a bunch of apatosaurs. Which, by the way, folks, those are not brontosauruses.
I want to know, will those spheres include interactive CD-ROMs?
Speaking of jokes and Chris Pratt, I remember seeing a hilarious image on Tumblr where it was from the screenshot from the trailer of Chris Pratt on a motorcycle riding alongside the Raptors. Someone made a funny picture or a cartoon or political cartoon of the Raptors talking to Chris Pratt and say, "Hey, look, it's Chris Pratt. Hey, can you sign my Guardians of the Galaxy DVD?"
Anyway.
Well, I do want to know, like, if they really are, like, in the movie, they're making, like, that super ultra dangerous Diabolus Rex. I really hope they come up with a good excuse, a good explanation for why they would make such a dangerous animal in the middle of a massively populated park.
Because numbers were not what they once were, and they needed a major attraction, because they're supposed to be, from what I understood, I mean, I'm going by what Clever Movies reported on. Go check them out. They're a good movie source, by the way. Apparently there's this one segment where a T-Rex is supposed to be roaring at this kid from behind this protective glass, and the kid's just texting his girlfriend, just gives like a momentary glance, and it's like, whatever.
Oh, I think I remember reading about that. Yeah. Yeah, I actually theorized that, like, maybe the reason why they're making that new dinosaur is because, like, none of the other dinosaurs are gaining that amount, like, bringing in the business. Kind of like how a theme park would create a new ride to, like, bring in new customers or new guests.
Although you think about it, if someone actually did bring, dinosaurs back to this world, it's like, why would this fail? Just think of the, the merchandise sale alone, which that's one of the things I can positively criticize the original movie and at the same time be like, really, that's just a cheap plug just to put your own merchandise in, but at the same time it makes sense because then people think, ooh, I actually do want that lunchbox. Yes, I do want that.
It's genius marketing. They're marketing within their own film.
Spared no expense.
Oh, sorry to butt in. Like that. My apologies. I just wanted to quote
How
that.
How dare you interrupt that quote?
I was trying to quote Spaceballs. Remember? Merchandising. Jurassic Park, the lunchbox. Jurassic World, the T-shirt. Jurassic World, the flamethrower.
It's good with the kids.
Oh, by the way, I'm linking that picture I was just talking about from Tumblr I just found.
Oh, God. Damn it, Fel, you nerd! That's mean. Oh, damn.
But going back to the trailer, I'm certainly looking forward to this movie. It's good that Steven Spielberg's back and involved with this, working on it. And I'm and hopefully the right team will be able to make this movie much better than the last outing we got.
Yeah, we certainly don't want it to be another 14 years before another Jurassic Park movie. Otherwise, we'll have a situation where it took 28 years just to make a sequel to Tron, and they said that they would have the third movie out for 2013. It's like, it's December 7, 2014. I don't see Tron 3 anytime soon, boys.
Maybe they postponed it? I don't know.
Oh, they postponed it indefinitely if we're still waiting for Tron 3 some 14 months later.
At this rate, we'll be old people in the retirement home. But I digress.
Remember when there was supposed to be a Tron 3? Yeah, I remember that.
And making early sequels came out in a few years.
I hear they're releasing it. I hear they're now releasing it in 5D.
Oh no.
But I digress.
I think we've covered enough on JP4. We'll go straight into Terminator Genesis with a Y.
But because of the way it's titled, I always like to pronounce it Genesis.
Yeah, but Terminator Genesis.
Like...
Terminator Genesis does what humanity don't.
Oh snap! No, I like to. I wonder if like the reason, like apparently because of the whole like going back in time and changing the timeline. I wonder if the reason why it's spelled Genesis is kind of like any of you read the short story A Sound of Thunder?
Name sounds familiar.
Well, there was like this time travelers. They go back in time to kill a dinosaur on like a prehistoric safari. They accidentally step on a butterfly, and as a result, the timeline has changed somewhat. So when they go back to their original timeline, the sign is completely. It's like the words. Each word on the sign is spelled differently. So I'm thinking, I don't know.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Did they change the timeline so that Genesis is spelled with a Y now? Or were they just hipsters and just wanted to spell it because the other way was too mainstream? I mean, it's Arnold. Arnold doesn't know how to spell. He's like, yeah, it's going to be spelled Arnold. It'll be spelled Terminator Genesis. Yeah, this is how I learned how to spell it with a Y. If you do not like it, I will destroy you.
Come see my new movie. I'm back. I'm old, but I can still exterminate.
Back.
Come on, watch it. Do it now. What you waiting for? Come on, watch it. Watch it now.
Two things that impressed me in the trailer. One, how they were able to recreate Arnold's 1984 appearance digitally, because, alright, CG has yet to recreate a human being to such a degree where you can't tell the difference. With that, you can still see the falseness of it, for want of a better word, or less than real, but you can see that it's improved greatly from where we saw the younger recreated younger version of Jeff Bridges from Tron Legacy. But I was impressed with how they were able to get because I think Arnold was 38 when they did the original Terminator, and there he is coming in at 67. And it's like, okay, it's like he's come back for this. That's impressive. The only thing, and I'm not going to pass judgment on his performance until I see it. The only thing I'm a little bit critical about is Arnold's coming back as the T-800, yet he's 3 years south of 70. Now, the guy can still go, as far as an action actor is concerned, when the script is tailored to the fact that, he's a mature citizen now. But can he pull off being the Terminator again? That's the thing I'm a little bit antsy about. And you could argue, in some respect, with the way that they've gone back in time to go back into the past to the events of the first movie, is it this franchise's way of retconning what has been done to undo the damage that Terminator 3 and Salvation did? Because 3 and Salvation did not get that many favourable results as opposed to Terminators 1 and 2, with Terminator 2 Judgment Day arguably the best movie in the franchise. And this is why I say earlier, it's kind of like what J.J. Abrams did for Star Trek. It's creating an alternate timeline now to where, they've acknowledged that the events of the previous series has happened, but it's gone to a completely new storyline. So, the actress who's playing the young Sarah Connor, she seems good from what little that we saw of her in the movie. I like the fact that Jason Clarke, who's playing John Connor, is getting more roles. Because in Dawn of Planet of the Apes, loved his character, completely sympathetic with him. You could tell this is an exemplary character. He just wants to get a peaceful connection going on between humans and apes. And in this one, it's like, okay, he's got a badass look. He's got this no-nonsense attitude as John Connor. That is how John Connor should be. And then, I don't know the actor who's playing this version of Kyle Reese, whether he actually lives to actually be in more Terminator movies is another thing, but that's another story for another time. What I want to know is, do you think Arnold can still go, and are they going the right way with this, or is this just a cheap excuse just to cash in on a pre-existing brand that can still make a draw at the box office? Kaiju.
Oh, well, I don't know, because, like, I still feel like you can, I feel like there is potential to make an interesting Terminator story. I mean, I love the first two movies. I get a little enjoyment for nostalgia for number 3. Salvation, it kind of left me a bit wanting more.
Yeah.
But I do like the cast that they picked. As for why this movie exists, I'm not sure whether... I get the feeling that because Arnold's last movie, The Last Stand, bombed in the box office, maybe he's just going back, just regressing to, let's focus... I'm going to do a franchise that made me a lot of money before. But, I feel cautiously hopeful that this movie will be... it can provide something new and interesting for the franchise. I like the idea. I was really... I was really taken aback when I learned that they were doing the whole reboot by means of time travel, so that it still remains in its own. They're still remaining in continuity, like they did with X-Men and Star Trek. I thought that it's kind of funny how the actor Jai Courtney, who's playing Kyle Reese, looks nothing like Michael Biehn from the first Terminator.
No.
I think it's going to be interesting seeing old Arnold fight the young Arnold. As if, old Arnold was like, "Damn you for looking much better than me." F you, you CGI piece of crap. But...
I have to get my hip replaced 3 times a week. You've still got yours. I want your young hip.
I will destroy you. It shows that they're going to be using the T-1000 again. I'm wondering if this is the same T-1000 from Terminator 2, but is now in this new timeline and got a new Asian appearance. And I'm really interested now with CGI. I'm wondering what else they can do now with the T-1000 and its liquid nature. Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that are any of you familiar with the T-1000 from Terminator 2 3D?
Yeah, I went and saw that at Universal Studios. Good Lord! That thing was a beast!
What I'm kind of hoping... Oh, sorry.
I never got to see Terminator 2 3D. I never been to Universal Studios, unfortunately.
If you ever get a chance, dude, go enjoy the ride. It is mind-blowing.
I'm sorry, MJ.
Yeah, as far as I know.
No, I'm sorry, MJ. Last year they replaced it with a Despicable Me 3D ride.
Is that any good?
It's good. It's decent.
Okay.
But it's no Terminator. I mean, it's still enjoyable. It's funny. If you like the Minions from Despicable Me, then it's gonna be something to your liking. But it's a completely different thing, like apples and oranges, really. But yeah, I'm very sorry that I know I love Terminator 2 3D, and I was very sad when I saw that they took it down.
I might not be back.
I was like Charlton Heston at the end of Planet of the Apes. Damn you all to hell! Then you zoom out, and you see me in front of the new attraction. Yeah, I'm hoping as a Terminator fan, I'm kind of hoping that maybe we get the T-1000. He can turn into morph into a miniature version of the T-1000, just something that's completely inhumanoid whatsoever. But anyways, the big thing that really bothered me about the trailer was that they did a whole lot of obvious callbacks to the Terminator franchise with the whole "come with me if you want to live, I'll be back." Arnold looking at his naked skeletal hand. What was another one? I think it was another callback, but they do a whole lot of obvious callbacks to the original to the original Terminators in the same way how how we were all bothered by how Will Arnett said, "Oh, they're heroes in a half shell." I really hope that they don't do all that's obvious like callbacks, because even Salvation suffered from that a lot. I guess the one thing that I'm also really excited for is that Matt Smith, who is known for playing the 11th Doctor in Doctor Who, he is going to be in this movie. I don't know if since he's not in the trailer at all, I'm wondering just how big of a role he is going to be in this movie. And me being a Doctor Who fan, I'm just going to imagine that he's still playing the Doctor, but he does that one thing that David Tennant did where all of his memories were put into like a locket, and he has a set of fake memories, so he thinks he's a different person.
Yeah, it's funny you just mentioned saying, oh, this is not going to be like Transformers 2. Now I've got an image of Optimus Prime going, I'll be back.
That's what he said before he flew off into space. I'll be back.
Come with me if you want to live, Starscream.
You are terminated. He's about to shoot Sentinel Prime's face off.
It's just imagine that Prime walking up to Megatron to the Terminator thing goes, Megatron, you are terminated.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Sorry. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Phoenix.
Which is not so much thoughts; it's just a bunch of fanboy rambling.
I gotcha. Well, before I begin on my actual thoughts of Terminator Genesis, they did say way back when the reason why they had the Arnold model, the T-800-101 model, showing up all the time is because they had multiple models. And my theory is that the reason why the T-1000 is an Asian guy now, I'm not being racist, I'm just...
No.
Of course, you're just pointing out the obvious.
Yeah. But anyway, the reason why the T-1000 is a newer model is